Political storm is brewing in Mesa as Councilwoman Julie Spilsbury faces a recall election backed by the powerful political interest group Turning Point Action. The group claims she betrayed Republican voters by supporting Kamala Harris and then Senate candidate Ruben Gallego last year. A petition for the recall garnered almost 4,000 signatures. The Maricopa County Recorder's Office verified the signatures, triggering that special election. The special election could wind up costing taxpayers more than $100,000.
Voters have been disenfranchised with her supporting and promoting ideology that is diametrically opposed to what she originally ran on.
What's coming to Mesa and in our community is very disturbing to me. This recall election is very disturbing to me.
So the question is, should a candidate, whether it's at the local, the state, or the federal level, have to vote for every candidate in his or her party? We're glad to have Councilwoman Spilsbury with us for a few minutes tonight. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
How much soul searching did you have to do, because you had to know that there would be reactions like this before you publicly said, I'm going to pull the lever for Kamala Harris and Ruben Gallego?
A lot. We're in nonpartisan positions, which I love because then I get to represent every single voice in my community. But I knew this was going to make some people mad. It was really hard to make that decision. One of the things that really swung me over was that I was reading a newspaper article and Kari Lake had said that this is a choice between good and evil, and that was between people who want to destroy the country and build up the country. And the next line, Ruben Gallego said, I don't think Kari Lake is evil. I think we just have a difference of opinion. And one of my most intrinsic values is that when people think differently than us, it's not that they're our enemy or that they're evil. They just have a different opinion. And we come up with better solutions to our problems when we have a diverse group of opinions. So.
When John McCain said during a debate, no, ma'am, he may be a lot of things that I don't agree with, but
yes.
He is a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
So political courage is a phenomenal trait to have, I think. As an elected representative in Mesa, what do you think you do owe your constituents there?
Yeah, I work really, really hard, and I study every issue very carefully. And so I put in the work, I'm engaged, I go to all of the events, and I will listen to anyone. If you disagree with me, even better, because I want you to come in and I want to listen and learn from you and really understand what's in people's minds. And that doesn't mean I might agree with them at the end, right? So I have 85,000 people in my district. That's bigger than the town of Flagstaff. So it's a lot of people. And so at the end of the day, I have to do what I feel is right and not what I think 30 people that are really loud want me to do.
Raw political ambition versus political backbone. Two completely different things, and it seems like now ambition wins out almost every time. And I think a good example of that is what we saw during the voting for President Trump's big, beautiful bill, where very few Republicans, even though they publicly said they didn't agree with it, eventually capitulated and wound up voting for the big, beautiful bill. Why did you decide that this was a time for you to show your political backbone?
It's so important for me to treat people with kindness and compassion and dignity and respect. Those are the things that are the most important thing to me. And so I had to do it. I had to speak up, I had to speak out and use my voice. I have 6 kids, and I wanted them to be proud of me too. When I went to bed at night, I wanted to be able to look myself in the eyes in the mirror and say, I did the right thing, I did what was right for Mesa.
We had a story earlier today that some FBI agents are being forced to take lie detector tests to see if they gave information about the FBI director. So I wanted to ask you about party loyalty and almost this fealty that Republicans are expected to have for the president, this undying loyalty. Where do you think, as a politician, the line is?
Well, first of all, I don't consider myself a politician. That might be part of the problem. I'm a public servant. I'm just trying to serve a community that I love. But yeah, look, I might get voted out in this recall because of that, but I have to do what I feel is right. And this is an out-of-state special interest group that's coming in and telling us how we have to work in Mesa, and no one should want 7 people on a city council that all think the same way. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars. This is not good for Mesa. I've done nothing illegal. I've done nothing corrupt. I did go against my party lines. I think a lot of us who are moderate Republicans we're looking for a team right now because we feel very politically homeless.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about dark money because obviously that is influenced. We can't trace where it comes from, but it's very powerful. And you look at entities like Turning Point USA and the incredible influence and power that groups like this and super PACs have. It's pretty scary.
It is. It is, and everyone should be afraid of this. If they're successful in Mesa, they're going to start going after other cities and other school boards as well. And again, I welcome the difference of opinion. I want us to have different viewpoints on things so that, again, we can be better. That's our city council in Mesa. Beautiful things have happened because we set aside our differences and we work together and we treat each other with respect. And really beautiful things can happen when you work that way in your life.
I would think that if I was in Mesa, I would want that from my representative. Ms. Spilsbury, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.